The next step is to name your course to be found. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that when you search up here, when a student searches for a course, the keywords that are entered by the student to search are matched against your name, the title of your course, and your subtitle. So basically, naming and subtitling a course is a process of arranging keywords so that you meet as many student search criteria as possible. Okay? So that's how you name your course to be found. Now, this is one way of searching. The other is to go through the categories, and the categories, you do better in the categories if you do better in the search. So we're going to focus on improving your search results and hope that our category results come along with it. So this is what I'm going to do. I've decided to show you a recent course that I created and how I named it, starting with the keywords. And I'm going to switch over to using Word because I can make the font much bigger, and that way you can see what I'm doing easier. So the topic of the course was it's a product called Clip Studio Paint. It's a graphics product that's really neat. You know, in there along with Photoshop, Illustrator, what is Autodesk's AutoDraw or whatever it is, things like that. So it's a general purpose drawing tool. So I begin with this keyword. Now, what did I do with it? I went, well, you know, what about doing a course on that? Let's go back over to Udemy, and I'm going to go, this is using the old style, to Instructor Dashboard. And from there, I'm going to do Market Insights. And then I entered, come on, Market Insights. Oh, there we go. And then I entered Clip Studio Paint, right? And I saw when insights came up. First of all, it says differentiate your course. Now, there's high student demand and fairly low number of courses. So this is a pretty good category to go after. And look at the money. The average median money is $410. The top is only $585. So everybody's bunched together in the middle pretty much, but that's okay. It's a pretty decent amount of money. And there aren't many courses, and there's high demand. It's the 84th percentile. So I then started gathering keywords. Now notice this, that Clip Studio is another keyword. It's also called Manga Studio. It was called Manga Studio 5 before it became Clip Studio Paint. And Clip Studio Paint has a Pro and an EX version. So I need to gather all these keywords. So I bring up Word. Let's minimize it so we can fit it over on this side of the screen. And then it makes the font dinky and you can't see anymore. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to write these down. So I have Clip Studio, Manga. Now I actually get Manga with Manga Studio, and I get Manga Studio with Manga Studio 5. So let's condense this. Let's condense this down to the longest keywords that we can. So I have Clip Studio Paint Pro, and I have Clip Studio Paint EX, and I have Manga Studio 5. I have Digital Painting, and digital art. Okay, digital is repeated. Webtoon, which I'm not interested in, that's looking for a specific course, and then Manga Studio 5. So this is basically my keywords. Then I go over and I look, well, what is this related to? A comic book creation. Digital painting. I've got digital painting. I've got painting. So let's add comic book creation. So there, now I've got a bunch of keywords, but I'm not done doing the keyword research. Now check out what we're going to do with this next. This is cool. We come up to the top. This is where students are searching for things, and we enter each of the keywords. So let's try Clip Studio Paint first. These down below are the keywords that students are most frequently searching for, and they're in order of importance. So this is the number one for what I entered is people are looking for Clip Studio Paint. After that, they're looking for Pro, EX. What about animation? Interesting. I hadn't considered that. So let's go back to Word, and I'll add Clip Studio Paint Animation. That's an interesting one. So you go through here and you expand the keywords even further. What was the other one that we had? Manga Studio. Let's see what that produces. So we type in Manga Studio. And we get 5 EX. We're going to cover 5 and EX. Manga. Okay, we got all that covered. We didn't really learn anything new out of that. And you type in each of the keywords. Now, let's say that this is the keywords that we end up with after doing all this. It's a pretty good long list of keywords. Now, this is what you got. Let's expand this so that you can actually see what I got again. You've got a title that is 60 characters long, and you've got a subtitle that's 120 characters long. What you want to do is have each one of these keywords, as many as you can, appear in your title. And you still want the title to be English grammatically correct. So you need a few connector words every once in a while. Let me show you the title that I came up with. I decided to call it Clip Studio Paint because I had to hit that one. And then I said Pro. That added another one. And I did /EX. That got me the Pro and the EX. And by the way, as far as keyword separation, any special character like a slash, a comma, a parentheses, a colon will turn into a space, and it'll split the keywords in two. So you don't need to have space/space or anything because you're concerned that you need spaces between your keywords. Spaces or special characters are fine. So I said EX, and then I said, well, this was formerly known as Manga Studio 5. So we got that in there. Now we've duplicated Studio, which is bad, but we really don't have much of a choice there. Now what I did at the end was I said, I want a digital, and here I've got paint, which also covers painting. So I've got digital painting, and I didn't know anything about animation. I haven't done that yet in Clip Studio Paint, but there was art, and then I went, okay, I have to say and this is the easiest way to do it. I said art and drawing. And that was my title. Now, it turned out that this was 61 characters long, so I actually had to get rid of this space here and butt these up against each other. So the title that I got was Clip Studio Paint Pro /EX, Manga Studio 5, Digital Art, whoops, I did put the T in there, and Drawing. And that got me all of these keywords. It got me Clip Studio Paint, Clip Studio Paint Pro, Clip Studio Paint EX, Manga Studio, Manga Studio 5, Digital Painting, Digital Art. And then when I came to making the subtitle, I ended up putting and adding comic book creation. That was a secondary keyword. I couldn't fit it in my title, but I put it in my subtitle. And in the subtitle, I ended up using all these keywords again. I just have more room so I can expand it out, and I added additional keywords. In fact, let's go look at this course and see what the subtitle was that I ended up with. I'm going to go to my courses. I'm going to look for Clip Studio Paint and go to it. And I'll go to the course landing page. So here you can see, here's the title that I came up with. 0 characters left. I use them all. Now, the other thing that I like to do is I look at how much waste there is. So I need a space between every character. I have no choice. But look, Studio, that's a waste of 6 characters plus a space separator. So that's 7 characters of waste there because I had to duplicate Studio to get these 2 names. So I look at how much wasted space there. Let's look at the subtitle. Use Clip Studio Paint Pro EX formerly. Now I can say formerly, so I can be more explicit for digital art, drawing, and painting. So I added painting, and here's comic book creation. So I got all of these keywords in here. Now, I think the keywords maybe and definitely in the future will also be in at least the first paragraph of your course description too. So be sure to pepper them in the first paragraph of your course description. And that's what you do with these keywords. So do you understand how you take these? You go, I've got a keyword, which is Clip Studio Paint. And then I go over to Instructor Marketing Insights. I type in Clip Studio Paint. Now this will work for any of the categories you go after. I check out whether the category is good. It is. I grab the keywords. I grab the associated keywords and add them all in Word or whatever editor that I'm using. And then I go back to Udemy and I start typing them in to see what expansions or what searches that users are doing right now. And that's where I found animation as an addition. Here's digital painting and stuff. I've got all of these covered, basically. Manga is covered. This is another language. I'm sorry, I couldn't cover that. And I gather all of this stuff together in Word, and then I start bolting them together to make 60 characters. I get the first 60 characters, I get to stuff in all my most important keywords. And then the next 120, let's go back there again. I'm going to go to my instructor dashboard or my courses. And come on, there we go. Clip. I'll go back to Clip. And I think that this is one of my best titles and subtitles. It's barely human readable. That's kind of bad. I wish I had a few more spaces to space things out here, but I just didn't have them to get all my keywords. So I got all my keywords in the title. I got all my keywords in the subtitle, and the subtitle reads much better than the title. And I got comic book creation in there too. So I have really hit the keywords dead on here with my course title and my subtitle. Now, once upon a time, it used to be that keyword stuffing worked great on Udemy, but they kind of caught on, maybe to me doing that, I don't know. But others did it too. So if you wanted to go after a keyword like Clip Studio Paint, you'd use it over and over again, and the number of times that you used it would raise you in the search results. Since then, Udemy seems to have caught on, and that's not working quite as well. So what I say now is don't repeat words. Don't repeat keywords. Make your title and your subtitle as nothing but keywords as you can. Use a few connecting words to make things grammatically correct. But other than that, try not to waste any space at all. Cover as many keywords as you can by not repeating them and having few connectors and spaces. And that's what you do, and that's how you name your course to be found. And that's how, let's go take a look at how I'm doing with some of my course titles, like self-publishing. I wanted that. Do you think that it's in my titles for my courses that are at the top of self-publishing? Here's self-publishing and self-publish. Amazon paperbacks and CreateSpace. That's all I wanted. That's a very short title, actually. This is a recent title I did. Amazon self-publishing, beginners is big. Canva I tried to go after, and book covers. So it's going after all those keywords. And once again, I repeat them again. And notice that they get highlighted here. So you can see where self-publishing occurred. And here's Canva and book covers again. I added the words free and Kindle. These were all secondary keywords. So they ended up in my subtitle and not my title. And that's how to name a course to be found. Up next is going to be putting together the course description, your promo video, and branding both yourself and your course. I'll see you there.